Hello, good morning, UG1 class. Today, welcome to our university virtual classroom. Okay, so for this morning, we will be discussing about the long overdue um, sequencing. Okay, sequencing of events, particularly in relation to reading. So, enjoy this moment, enjoy the music. Imagine you are in a cafe taking a sip of coffee, and at the same time prepare your notes so you can take note of some important stuff that we will be discussing today. So let's move on. I'm gonna share another thing here. Okay. Alright. Okay, so this is a first time for UG1 to have my recorded lessons. Okay, so let me see. I had taken this slide from net. It's about sequencing. I would like to recognize the source. Aptis Reading Part 2. It's about sequencing in reading. Okay, presented by English Exam Ninja at englishexamninja.com. Okay, so we have this saying, don't stress, do your best, forget the rest. Okay, let's have this maximized. Okay, so when we talk about sequencing, the order in which events happen. Okay, so that refers to sequencing. So these are some things that we need to remember when we talk about sequencing. First, we have the signal or transition words. These are words that indicate or show an order or time in which something is going to happen. Okay, what else? Examples for this, we have first, second, next, then, now, after, at last, today, tomorrow, before, soon, on, we're referring to dates, in, referring to years, and finally, while, during, once, early, or at the end. Okay, so these are, we have to watch out for these signal words or transition words when we read our text, especially if you're reading fiction or longer texts, study words. Okay, then we have the timeline, understanding a basic timeline and how to read dates. This is particularly useful when we talk about history or other social issues. Okay, it is useful to know what are adverbs, prepositions, and adverbial clauses, or even adverbs of time. Do you still remember them? Way back with our English grammar classes. So it helps if you will do a little review on what they are and how they work in a particular text. Okay, next, the grouping events. Okay, you can put events together based on shared times and places. So you should know which events occurred around the same time based on the location and time. So for example, when he was born in London, he learned to drive a car in London when he was 16. Then when he went to America, he did this and did that. So you are actually grouping events in a particular sequence. Okay, so going back to the signal words. So signal words or transition words, these are words that indicate or show an order or time in which something is going to happen. So we have the examples here. So you have to memorize them by heart. Okay, so in a timeline, when you say timeline, it's a graphical representation of a period of time in which important events are marked. So sequencing or order of events is a timeline without pictures or visuals. So it looks like this. We have an example here. So 2000, this is what happened. 2003, 2004, and so on. So these are, you just pick out the major events in those years in relation to the purpose that you want to be explaining about. So, wait. Okay, so when grouping events, you can put events together based on shared times and places. So you should know which events occurred around the same time based on the location and time. So after directing several more popular films, for example, he sailed to America. Then he was soon one of Hollywood's top directors, and in 1956 he became an American citizen. So you notice here that uh, the paragraphs were divided into or were grouped according to the events. So it is also useful to know like these grammatical items, like we have adverbs. Adverbs example is a word or phrase that modifies the meaning of an adjective, verb, or other adverbs. So they express manner, place, time, or degree. So for example, gently, that's manner. Place, here. Time, now, or tomorrow, yesterday. Degree, very, too, soon. What else? Quite. These are adverbs of degrees. So some adverbs, for example, sentence adverbs, can also be used to modify the whole sentence. So it's not just words. It could be adverbial phrases or adverbial clauses. Tawag na to, ano. Okay, an adverb clause is a group of words that function as an adverb. So the clause can modify verbs, adverbs, and adjectives by telling when, where, why, how much, and under what condition. So they begin with a subordinating conjunction, so such as after, if, because, and although, and they contain a subject and a predicate. So we call it a clause. A clause is not totally a sentence, but it's a group of words that has a subject and a predicate. Okay, so and they have different functions. So in this case, they function as an adverb. Okay, next we have adverbs that tell us how often express uh, the frequency of an action. They are usually placed before the main verb but after auxiliary verbs such as mga verbs na be. When you say be verbs, these are am, is, are, was, were. They also have, uh, may, and must. So the only exception is when the main verb is to be, in which case the adverb goes after the main verb. So like today, tomorrow, or yesterday. So how often? Okay, next, a preposition of time helps to link the noun or pronoun with the time value. So it functions as an indicator as to what point in time did an event occur. So for example, I wake up at 7 o'clock. So the at 7 o'clock there is at is a preposition with the time element of 7 o'clock. We will see you on Tuesday. So on Tuesday is the prepositional phrase. So what else? I was born in 1419. Whoa. Okay, in 1419 is the prepositional phrase. I often feel tired in the afternoon. In the afternoon is the preposition of time. So you have to be watchful about these items because they give you clues as to the sequencing of particular events in the story. Let's skip this one. Order the sentences. Most exams, okay, especially in government exams, they also have something like this to order the sentences to make a story. So the first one is done for you. So Alfred Hitchcock was born in London in 1899. So that's the first sentence, and the rest you have to rearrange that. So sometimes we have five choices. And I remember when I took the exam with the civil service for the professional level after I graduated in college. So they have exams like this. So you have five sentences, A, B, C, D, E. Then you have to form them into a cohesive paragraph. So you have to decide which one is the topic sentence, which are the three supporting sentences, or we call it supporting details, and finally the concluding sentence, or we call it the I forgot the name. So clincher. It's the clincher. A clincher is a sentence that ends a paragraph either by restating the topic sentence, concluding it, or summarizing the points given. Okay, moving on. Okay, find the signal words and transitional words in these sentences. Can you do that? Okay, so making cookies is easy enough if you have all the ingredients and the time. Okay, before gathering your ingredients, you need to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Then gather your butter, sugar, eggs, vanilla, flour, salt, baking soda, and any mix-ins. Mix thoroughly and drop the dough into the baking pan in small spoonfuls. Finally, place the pan in the oven and bake for 10 minutes until gooey and delicious. Enjoy! Okay, so can you spot the transition words in this paragraph? So I'm giving you 10 seconds to guess. Then we'll check if your guess is right. Okay, found it? Okay, so these are the transitional words. So we have before, then, finally, and until. Okay, you know this? Can you imagine the paragraph without them? It doesn't seem to make sense because we are talking about a sequence here. We are talking about the steps in baking something, doing something. So the same goes with other recipe books. You have to obey them, you have to follow the instructions as they are supposed to be sequenced. Okay, another example here. Okay, born in Seattle, Washington in 1955, famed entrepreneur Bill Gates began to show an interest in computer programming at age 13. Through technological innovation, keen business strategy, and aggressive business tactics, he and partner Paul Allen built the world's largest software business, Microsoft. In the process, Gates became one of the richest men in the world. In February 2014, Gates announced that he was stepping down as Microsoft's chairman. Okay, 10 seconds to spot the signal words. Okay. Okay, so we have born in, actually just the word in Seattle, Washington. Okay, in 1955 at age 13, and in February 2014. So these are items that tell when or major events in the life of Bill Gates. Okay, so order the sentences below to make a story. So the first one is done for you. Okay, so the first thing you do if ever you encounter something like this is you have to read all the sentences first. Okay, then let's rearrange it. Let's find the topic sentence and then move from there. And the supporting details and the clincher. Okay, Andrew Carnegie was born in November 25th, 1835 in Dunfermline, Scotland. He made numerous donations and helped open 2,800 libraries with his support. After moving to the United States, he worked a series of railroad jobs. Okay, the sale earned him more than $200 million. In 1901, he sold his business and dedicated his time to philanthropic work. At the age of 13, in 1848, Carnegie came to the United States with his family. By 1889, he owned Carnegie Steel Corporation, the largest of its kind in the world. He later established of Carnegie Mellon University in 1940. He later established, it's not establishment. He later established Carnegie Mellon University in 1904. Okay, so sorry for that clerical error. Okay, so this is your assignment. You have to find out, you have to rearrange that and provide your answer. Okay, so provide your answer by rewriting the whole paragraph. Oh, no, let's just have the letters, I think. Just answer the letters in an assignment. Okay, I'll post an along with this video, so you post the letters of your answer in proper sequence. Okay, so that ends our lesson for today about sequencing too. So probably tomorrow I'm gonna upload another lesson on the comparison and contrast. God bless and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.